everyone. I am here. Yes, it's me. I want to talk a lot about a couple things today. But honestly, I don't want to edit. I'm too lazy to, and I hope I can get this all done within the next half hour. I'm just gonna look up one last thing for today. This is so hard that you can't. Here we go. Oddshark. Is this the right one? Yeah, here we go. I'll go with this. That'll be better than nothing. Good. Westgate's here. I just wanted to make sure Westgate was here because Westgate is the most legit one I can use for a sports book. But yeah, before we get into the tabs that I have organized, I want to discuss something that's been taking place in the past 2 weeks almost, and I try to be fair to everyone. I really do, because these days with division and hate and, not being compassionate these days, being reasonable overall is a very important thing that we all must make compromises sometimes. Sure, it may be bad or awful on one person, but there have been extreme measures taking place by certain YouTubers, and I'm not going to name them because, once again, privacy is very important with the community guideline standards. I know for a fact that whatever you say or do could have consequences. I'll go one example last night. I wanted to pull up an article about it. If I can, I'll mention it very quickly. Okay. Make sure I can find it first. So far, I can't find it. That's all right. I'll talk about it later on. I do want to discuss it. Let me just pause the video. That's why I'm trying to be careful on this platform, but I am trying to still recover from my cold, in case anybody is wondering. But right, where was I? Whatever you say or whatever you do can have consequences. And as I try to get a cough drop here, this dry cough, I want to go away. Honestly, certain words I don't want to use today. I'm just not in the mood for what's been going on with a couple people I know. I've gotten to know them professionally and personally over the past couple of months, or specifically this one person who I've known for 15 years, since I first met him when we were kids back in 2004. And here's the point I want to make here. I try to be fair to everyone. I try to be reasonable. Thankfully, when I have grown up, and since, again, I'm only 23 years old, I'm 23 years old and about, well, think about this, 23 years, and I would say, if I am correct, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that is correct. If Guinness World Records would have put me at 23 and 12 days old, that would be correct. if I were to accomplish something to be in the Guinness Book of World Records. But point is, I've grown up and I realized one thing since being on YouTube is that, yes, there's hidden things, and yes, there's certain stuff that you can't do, but if you're reasonable and you love what you do, then do it. And I love talking to you guys. We're still getting close to 1,000 here. I really want to be able to get the super chat. That's what I have been talking about since the beginning of the year. I want to be able to use that feature with you all. And this cough drop, Ludens. That's what I'm trying to dissolve this with. My point is that whenever I do these summits, the next couple of weeks, months, even years, I try to look past differences, and good or bad, I make it work out. Now, there's going to be people who you may not like who go to my summits. Well, I'm going to warn you right now. Whoever sends negative comments or, sends negative vibes, then I'm going to have a problem with them. Am I going to call them out? That's something I make on. I'm trying to be fair and even to everyone. That's my whole point. Right now, there's division. And we don't need that right now. And my point is that, once again, I'm not going to take negativity. I don't want negativity. I want good stuff. I want positive stuff. The summits is what I'm passionate about in life. Because, again, I come from a transportation family. My dad started out as a taxi driver 40 plus years ago. My grandfather, he was the one who put the road sign on the track. He was the one who prevented subway delays when he saw obstruction on the track. If he saw how the subways were being run, if he saw my videos, if he saw how bad Kew Gardens Union Turnpike was, the man would have had a heart attack. And by the way, my grandfather Jerome, he would have been 90 last year. He would have been 90 years old last year. Because he was born in 1928. And when he passed on in 2011, he was, 81, 82. Yeah, his birthday was in April. So he passed on when he was 83. So, 90-year-old man having a heart attack, trust me, I know I have a job to do. And that is showing you all what's really going on. Because right now, I know I'm going to stick with the cycle, but today, I have a lot of tabs I want to show you today. Big online presentation we're going to do. But I know I'm rambling on, and maybe it's just my cold or something, but no matter what happens, again, this person, if he is watching, he knows who he is. I've talked about him on this channel many times. And for 15 years, you can cherish one friendship and be thankful for it. You can also be thankful for I'm talking about me. And I'll give hints. You could also be thankful for somebody out in Long Island who, again, you know the culture out there very well, and you feel bad for a certain someone out there. There's a college student who loves the MTA like I do. Same with a certain advocate who's been around for many years and has a proud YouTube playlist series. And of course, someone who is just trying to start off on YouTube and honestly is just trying to get a head start. I try to be fair to those people, and examples are of that. And they're always welcome on my channel. But once again, any negative comments are going to get deleted if these people, these individuals are highlighted on my videos. Because I'm not going to have it. All right? Now, blocking is something extreme. Would I consider it? Again, that would have to be up to what happens. But I will say this right now. I am fair. I am equal. And if something bad happens on my side, and I just feel that enough is enough, and I make that decision. And epic rants are just not going to be important anymore. I'm trying not to do them as much, but in today's circumstance, what I'm going to show you, there is going to be an epic rant. And no, it's not about these wonderful individuals who I've talked about today, who I still have a lot of respect for. Now, one of these individuals used the word disgrace, right? Now, disgrace is somebody who we have right now in our federal government, which we'll get to later on. So I'll quickly read your comments because I think as part of this cycle, it's very important. Okay, we have no live comments. We'll keep it in mind, and I will read them later on after I'm done with this presentation today. All right. So let's talk about the weather. I think that should be our top priority because I've organized it into how I think my news program should go. So you see here, this is the radar. There's some snow upstate. There's some snow up in New Hampshire. That looks like there's some rain up there in Maine and Massachusetts. There's one heavy band of rain that was in Rhode Island. One that's in Connecticut right now. The one that was just in the Twin Forks, but right now the rain is letting up. We do have a public information statement, and I'm sure with the wind, there's going to be a lot of wind. And in this studio, when it gets windy tonight, I don't even know if I'm going to get any sleep. So we do have snow totals. I only want to do upstate New York because I have cousins in Rockland who might want to know this stuff. All right, so again, here's some snow totals. We have 1.8 in Stony Point, 1.2 in Congers. Central Park, I saw a trace. So far, it looks like Otisville and Orange County got 5.5 inches. Interesting. Nothing in Nassau. Nothing in Queens, so that's not important. Yeah, and here's the ice. New Haven, Meriden, 0.60. So here, do apologize. Here is the rain. Look for rain. Belrose got 1.34. Further east you went, less rain you got. Especially at Central Park, it was an inch of rain. Whitestone, 1.35 inches. JFK, 1.33. Bayside, 1.25. Belrose, 1.16. LaGuardia, 1.14. Astoria, 0.99. Coney Island, 1.39. Montauk almost got 2 inches of rain. Interesting. Now we're going to talk about something very dangerous that's going to happen in the next day. So you see here, tonight, look how cold it's going to get here in New York. 10 degrees with a real feel of 16. Do apologize about that, everyone. I don't know what happened there. Real feel of 5. -5 tomorrow. High of 16. Now, here's what I'm concerned about. Wednesday and Thursday. It does rain, but let's keep in mind here that's going to warm up. And then we go into a seasonable cold pattern. Gust of 25 miles an hour. Interesting. All right, now we're going to go to a different topic. Now, I've titled it January 20th because if you don't remember what happened on this date back in 2017, it's a good reason why I think you may want to forget what happened. Here we go.
An honor, John G. Roberts Jr.
Here we go.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute. That I will faithfully execute. The office of President of the United States. The office of President of the United States. And will, to the best of my ability. And will, to the best of my ability. Preserve, protect, and defend. Preserve, protect, and defend. The Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the United States. So help me God. So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. President.
Now, the reason why we play that is because today is also a very important milestone that we have hit today. And there's only one song that we must play right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the next president of the United States.
A wall.
There we go.
Do you want to build a wall? Let's make a plan today. Don't want to see them. We'll have a door and lock it every day. It will cost a lot of money, but that's fine. We'll get Mexico to pay.
Yep. He's lying, folks. He's lying. And that's why if I want to call a disgrace of the month, there's only one person, or possibly 2 or 3 should I call disgraces. And that would be our first disgrace, President Donald John Trump. Cue the Price is Right music. We're going to play this 2 more times to prove a point. Second disgrace of the month is Congresswoman and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. And the third disgrace of the month in my book is, of course, United States Senator and Senate Minority Leader for the Democrats, and of course, my senator from the state of New York, Charles Schumer. Cue the prices. No, let's play the wah-wah. Let's play the wah-wah to prove a point. Yeah. All right, so we've officially hit 30 days of the United States government shutdown. Now, what's so important about this? Pretty much the reason why these 3 individuals, well, particular individuals, are disgraces of the month is because they all act like a bunch of big babies just because they want to get what they want done, but they're not being bipartisan. All right? One side offers one thing. And this is the same thing that happened in the previous shutdowns. They all act like a bunch of babies. They whine and they complain and nothing gets done because Trump's the bigger baby, and then the other brats who are Pelosi and Schumer, they don't do anything. They just sit on their asses all day. They don't do anything. You know, Trump's over there eating his Big Mac. Nancy's probably eating a salad, and Chuck's probably eating pastrami sandwiches for all we know. Because remember, he's from Brooklyn, so I'm sure he eats pastrami sandwiches. But anyhow, also he's Jewish, so me and him share the same food interest. But anyhow, let's read this. So, our disgrace of the month, Donald Trump has attacked Democrats for rejecting his proposals to end the longest government shutdown in United States history. Now, I quickly want to take a look at list of government shutdowns. See if I can pull it up. Here we go. We're going to go back to about, I would say, yeah, here we go. We'll go into this. Get you all an idea. Previous shutdowns, so we all can understand something. All right, here we go. President offered compromises in exchange for funding his security wall along the Mexican border, the issue that has caused the shutdown. Democrats called proposals unacceptable, a non-starter, and hostage-taking. Mr. Trump offered on Saturday some 700,000 Dreamers who were young when they entered the United States legally with their parents would be protected until 2022. Some 300,000 people holding visas under TPS, temporary protection status, will also get 3 years protection. These are people who have fled countries affected by wars or disasters. On Twitter, he said the House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, and other Democrats have turned down my offer yesterday before I even got to speak. He says his opponents don't see drugs and crimes. They only see the 2020 presidential election, which they are not going to win. Well, unfortunately, Mr. Trump, if you don't get your wall built, people are going to turn against you and they're going to vote Democrat. See, it's not the economy. When you promise one thing, okay, this is the same thing President George H.W. did in 1988. He said there would be no new taxes, and yet there were new taxes between 1989 and the time he left office in 1993. All right? Here's the thing. This is different than taxes. All right? Here's the thing. This guy said that, you heard the song, right? Mexico was, I'll play it again just to prove a point. I'll play it again. I had it. Found it.
Do you want to build Mexico?
See, he said it himself. Once again, liars don't get second chances in most cases. And you know who that's going to be? The American voters. In fact, here's something crazy that he even tweeted yesterday. Let me find it. I'll take a look at the notifications in just a second. You can also tweet me at Andy's Randomness, and I'll read you after we're done with the presentation for today. All right. Let me find it. By the way, he's not blocked by me. If he blocks me, then we got a problem because the President of the United States is not allowed to block someone on Twitter. Let me find it. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, look what he tweeted. Nancy Pelosi has behaved so irrationally and has gone so far to the left that she's now officially become a radical Democrat. She's so petrified of the lefties in her party that she's lost control. And by the way, clean up the streets in San Francisco. They're disgusting. Well, here's one thing I'll agree with him on. He needs to see how bad Midtown Manhattan has gotten. Because my wonderful mayor has made it worse, along with my wonderful governor. All right. So I don't want to get into it that much. Let's just close this article. All right. So here's 6 ways the shutdown could end. All right. Trump capes. Chances of that happening, 20%. Trump would certainly take heat from Rush Limbaugh and Coulter and Adam, what's his name? The guy from InfoWars. Alex Jones, that's the guy. 20% chance. And another thing, we don't even know if State of the Union's going to happen or not. I'll quickly show you that tweet in just a second. Let me find it. I will be live from the White House at 4 p.m. Oh, boy. There we go. Nancy, I'm still thinking about the State of the Union speech. There are so many options, including doing a per your written offer made during the shutdown. Security is no problem, and my written acceptance. Well, a contract is a contract. I'll get back to you soon. Ridiculous, this guy. All right. Trump strikes a deal with Congress. This is what he tried doing yesterday. Chances, 40% and creeping up. The Lindsey Graham solution. Lindsey Graham recommended that the president should reopen the government for 3 weeks. If talks are still stalled, he should declare a national emergency in which there would be a humanitarian crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border. Chances, 10%. Trump declares a national emergency. Chances of that, 20%. The Democrats cave. Chances, 9% happens. All right, so I'll have to move this. I'll just quickly go into the list of how many shutdowns we've had. Just to go by the Wikipedia list, so you all understand how serious this is. Here we go. So here we are, right? We are officially the longest one. The longest one was December of 1995 over budgeting issues between House Speaker Newt Gingrich and U.S. President Bill Clinton. Same thing in November of 1995. President Trump, January 2018. September 2013, President Obama over healthcare. Pretty much all those years when Ronald Reagan was president, think about this. The government was in budget crisis. That's why the shutdown didn't last that long. So think about that. Now, we're going to go into the impact of this government shutdown. How bad it has gotten. You know what? Hang on. Let me play you something for just a second. I want you to hear this. I found something funny, come to think of it. If we can find it. Here we go.
In the absence of appropriations, the White House is involved in an orderly phase down. All non-essential personnel have been furloughed. No one is here to answer your call.
Yep. This was when Reagan was the president. All right, here we go. Government websites insecure. Security credentials for dozens of official websites have not been renewed. Affected websites include the U.S. Department of Justice, the Court of Appeals, and NASA. Any government security certificates used by .gov websites have expired. Coast Guard garage sale. Food safety fears. The FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, has suspended all non-essential work, causing nationwide concerns over unsafe food as most inspections have stopped. FDA Commissioner Scott Grellub said the agency was working to ensure high-risk facility checks continue. He says 1/3 of the FDA's food inspections are considered high risk, looking at goods like cheese, fresh produce, and seafood. Mr. Gottlieb told NBC News it's not business as usual, and we are not doing all the things we would do under normal circumstances. And look at this. They have to use food pantries. Once again, this is a disaster. All right, here's the biggest problem. And I'm going to mention this right now, and I'm going to show you how important the shutdown's going to be. I'll keep that in just a second. We'll go back to Wikipedia. Yeah, here we go. Federal employees have shared their fears of affording rent, making credit card payments, and putting food on the tables. So once again, they don't understand how bad this shutdown has gotten. They really don't. They don't understand. TSA workers have been calling in sick. Some officers are considered quitting. Union officials say, though TSA insists standards have not been compromised, flight traffic controllers are also feeling the effects of the shutdown, especially with record low numbers of fully certified staff to handle over 43,000 daily flights. You know what? Let's just forget about this one for a second. I'm not going to talk about Nice Bus. I already talked about that. You know, we'll get rid of that. I wanted to talk about that, but I'm like, I actually do have to take care of something. I have to leave the air soon, but we'll just get rid of Nice Bus because this is more important. And I do want to talk about sports, so. Alrighty. Ooh, you know what? Let me look up one more story. Put that here. All right. So this is what I wanted to get to. Super Bowl is coming up. Okay? Do you realize how many people are going to be at the Super Bowl? Here's the thing. Let me show you this. Find it. This is what I'm worried about. This is the world's most busiest airport. Do you realize that if this shutdown does not end by February 3rd, here's the thing. It's going to be a disaster when people try to leave Atlanta on February 4th. So this goes on until February 4th. This will be a disaster. Like, hang on. Let me look up one more thing. Let me try to pull up this article.
We're turning now to the government shutdown.
Here we go. New Yorkers will lose out $500 million monthly if the federal government shutdown continues past February. Here we go. And this is what I've noticed. Beginning Thursday, many New York City food stamp president. Right, this was published back on Friday. Yes, because the thing is, release of March benefits is uncertain due to the shutdown. Fight against opioids, supplemental nutrition assistance, SNAP benefits, NYCHA, emergency solution grants, special supplemental nutritional program for women, continuum of care. Once again, NYCHA. I want to read that. Yeah, here we go. New York City spends $43 million per month for school lunches. Parks struggle to stay open. National parks are closed. So are Smithsonian museums. Hurricane prep would take a hit if the shutdown lasts longer. New York City funds to keep the Statue of Liberty open, $46,000 per week. Governor Andrew Cuomo committed $65,000 a day to ensure the Statue of Liberty would stay open. National Science Foundation can't do experiments. Who, by the way, get grants to put programs on public television for children. Native American tribes hurting. Farmers getting hit hard. They can't get federal assistance. E-Verify is down. It's been offline since December 22nd, which would make it easier for illegal immigrants to get jobs if employers bypass verification. This is insanity. Prisoners at federal penitentiaries don't get paid. Sex assault victims. Funds run out for federal courts. This is insanity. Once again, they just don't realize how bad this is. Another thing, the IRS is closed. People were supposed to start filling out their W-2 forms on January 7th. Now, all the people who want to get their tax refund early can't, because Trump told them to go into work, and the problem is, even with the shutdown, do you know how long those checks are going to take to go out to people who paid their taxes early? Sanity. All right, let's just quickly go into today's spreads for the championship games in the NFL. Today we have two games. First game, 3:05 on Fox. We have the Rams playing the Saints, the Los Angeles Rams taking on the New Orleans Saints at the Superdome. I'm going to go with Westgate because they're the most reliable book. That's who I normally go with. Westbook is going Saints -3. New England Patriots will be at the Kansas City Chiefs today, with the Kansas City weather scheduled to be in the 20s today. No snow in the forecast. I do agree with Westgate. I will take the -3 in both games. That's your safe pick. I expect a Saints-Chief Super Bowl. The Rams, they made it this far. It would be a miracle if they would get in, but I think they're going to be in the Super Bowl eventually, just not this year. Drew Brees is trying to make a statement. So we'll talk two more sports stories. Greg Hardy, former NFL player who made his first appearance in the UFC. Alan Croder for using an illegal knee. Hardy threw the knee at Croder, clearly had one knee off the canvas, which is illegal. Now, last night, I will quickly criticize ITV4 for something in England. I was able to watch the bootleg stream. Don't ask how I did it, but I did it. Manny Pacquiao last night defended the WBA welterweight boxing championship, defeating Adrian Broner. Thus, Adrian Broner going 0-3 in the UFC in his past 3 matches. All right, here we go. Judges went 117, 111, 116, 112, and 116, 112. Thus, winning the fight would be Manny Pacquiao. Oh, quickly going to read this one because there's big news about Canelo Alvarez. All right, so last night, ITV4 aired the match on over-the-air television in England. And right after Manny Pacquiao humbly talked to the reporter from Showtime Sports, Adrian Broner felt like he was robbed, and he cussed. Now, normally on pay-per-view, that's okay. But when you're on television on ITV, a major broadcast network in England. Trust me, they're going to get fined. They're going to get fined. And lastly, Mexican superstar Canelo Alvarez will meet Daniel Jacobs to unify their 160-pound world titles on Saturday, May 4th. Most likely going to be T-Mobile Arena. We don't know who the promoter will be. We don't know. Most likely it'll be HBO because I want Jim Lampley to call it. Don't get me wrong. I liked Manuel Ranallo because he used to be in the WWE. But the thing is, this is interesting. We don't know if Tyson Fury's going to fight soon in the heavyweight division. Yeah, Canelo Alvarez last fought on December 15th, knocking out Rocky Fielding in 3 one-sided rounds. I don't know. Is he going to fight Triple G again? Because the thing is, it's like he doesn't need to fight Triple G again. He needs to fight Jacobs. Jacobs only has 2 losses. Trust me. I have a theory that if Canelo loses this match, I'm going to say this right now. Jacobs needs to face Triple G. No question. They're in the same weight class. Triple G has to face Daniel Jacobs and Jacobs wins. But I know Canelo's going to be favored. All right, here we go. There is a negotiation process to have a rematch for Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, which, again, that's probably going to be another HBO match because, again, I want this rematch. I'm gonna watch this match myself. I didn't even watch this fight. If I can find it online, I'll watch it. Because I want to see this myself. Let's see. 2-1 for Wilder. So, yeah, this should be a rematch. I mean, with a box score like this, my goodness. And look at this. Wilder had not even lost. There needs to be a rematch. I'm sorry. There needs to be a rematch. If there's no rematch, something is very wrong. Very wrong. All right. Let's see. Nothing that recent. Okay. Check your comments and I'll wrap this all up. Let's see. All right. So I'll answer a couple questions. First question from DC Backup is, how is my cold? As you can tell, I'm getting a whole lot better. I only have a dry cough. I have some cough drops. No, let me show you, DC. I'll put my camera on for just a second. Let's put the camera on me. What the heck? Hello, everyone. So here are my cough drops right here. I'm doing a whole lot better. I could be worse. I still have a little stuffy nose. That's TB8 septum, but I'm all right. I can't complain. So I just wanted to show you my cough drops. Okay. Next question from Alex Murphy. Found Queens Village buses on the BX12 yesterday. Snow Janes were on the buses. How are the LFS's buses being treated at Queens Village? Alex, to answer your question, I have not seen any LFSs recently with the Queens Village fleet. I will mention this. I think this was back on Tuesday. I don't remember when I was leaving Long Island Jewish to get to Kew Gardens, trying to get to the subway. I will be honest. I did see an LFS, but I wasn't paying attention because, remember, the Orion 7s have been on the fleet for a while. And if you did not see the committee books, I will recommend there's a page in there. I'll reference you it right now, Alex, so that way you can look for it yourself on the committee books. I know which committee book it is. Find it. Yeah, I know it's in the finance committee. I just have to reference you to that page. That way you know where to find it. Is it in the finance committee? It might be in the capital one. They talk about when the buses are going to be phased out. Proper timeline. Yeah, it's the Capital Oversight Committee. It's that one. If I am correct, Alex, please pay attention so that way I can get you an accurate one in terms of the buses being phased out. Yeah, here we go. I believe it's page 48. Here we go. All right, Alex, to properly answer your question, in terms of to get these buses out of here with the Novabus LFS, this will replace the Novabus 1999 diesel, which is Detroit Diesel RTS, and Orion 7 hybrids from 2004. The buses are expected to be on the fleet at Queens Village sometime around the beginning or middle of 2020. So I'm still going to stick to that theory. But once again, I will mention this, Alex. If I do get an LFS, I am going to film it because I need to see how bad the situation is with the LFSs. Yes, please. I'll reference you it right now. You can go on the MTA's website. Capital Program Oversight Committee book, Alex. It's page 48. Page 48. Don't look at the finance one because it's just a headache. So if you do want to look at capital projects, which again is more in-depth on what the future of the MTA would be, just read the capital one because it's easier to understand. Okay, next question comes from Alex again. You heard about Mitch McConnell. Yes, there was an World News Tonight. I believe this was back on Wednesday or Thursday. Alexandria Cortez was on a witch hunt trying to find him. And it was so funny. I don't remember where it was, but I saw it online somewhere. So, yeah, that is funny. I do remember that. Yeah, Alex, I know. It's not just Trump. I mentioned it earlier. It's Pelosi and Schumer. Yeah, I remember that. The 08 bailout. So it looks like there's no other questions or answers. So with that being all said, thank you all for watching. I'm going to get going. So once again, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Andy's Randomness. If you're new, once again, we are on the road to 1,000. Let's keep it going. So until the next one, take care.